My name is Lauren Spear, and you're listening to the horrorfam.com podcast. Today, my guest is me. I'm doing something a little different this week, but I think it'll be fun. We have more guests coming soon, including the return of my dad, horror effects artist Robert Tharp, but scheduling guests has been a little weird lately because 2020 itself has been pretty weird. And that's actually a big part of why I'm doing this solo episode. In a couple days, it's going to be June 2020. And normally June is the month where a lot of us head to our local theaters and catch the new releases, but that's obviously not happening in 2020. And June is also known as Gay Pride Month, but no one's going out and having parades this year either. So what the heck are we all supposed to do in June now, right? Like, the next major holiday isn't until July. Is June doomed to be sucky and boring? I refuse to have a sucky, boring June, not even in 2020. So that's where I'm going with this episode. Making June 2020 fun. And I went to holidayinsights.com and looked up some of the lesser-known June holidays, and there are quite a lot of them. It looks like there's one for every day in June, actually, so I'm just going to sit here and scroll through the list of obscure June holidays and name off horror movies we could potentially all watch to celebrate. And you might hear some mouse clicks as I'm going through the list. I'll try to edit them out, but if I miss some, forgive me. Yeah, I'm just sitting here on the website going through these, so let's do this. Let's see what horror-related fun June has to offer us this year. Okay, so on the Holiday Insights page, it says that the first week of June is National Gardening Week. So that's cool. I mean, I wrote a post on horrorfam.com a few weeks ago about garden horrors, so if you want to check that out and embrace the gardening theme and learn some cool facts about bugs and stuff, check out the horror films I recommended on there. Let's see, days. Here we go. June 1st, Flip a Coin Day. The first movie I thought of that focuses on a coin is William Castle's Zots. That movie holds a special place in my heart, but it's not a horror movie. It's more of a comedy with fantasy elements. Coins. Well, The Bye-Bye Man with Doug Jones featured coins pretty prominently. Coins appearing were like one of the omens to look out for, but I don't think I can actually recommend that movie unless you have like a few friends to watch it with you. Okay, well, how about for Flip a Coin Day, you grab 2 horror movies off of your shelf or select 2 potential movie watches from a streaming service and just literally flip a coin to decide which one you watch. I actually do that fairly often anyway. There was a Carl Barks comic from way back about the idea of flippism and using coin flipping to make decisions, and I was quite taken with that idea as a kid and still am. So yeah, just flip a coin. Next up, June 2nd, National Bubba Day. Really? Huh. Oh, well, that's funny. If you click the link for National Bubba Day on the Holiday Insights page, they're like, we have no idea what's up with this holiday or how it originated. Apparently, it goes back to 2011. Well, how about watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies? Leatherface's real name is Bubba Sawyer, which surprised me when I first heard it, but then I felt dumb because no mom, no matter how strange, is going to name her baby Leatherface. And you could also try playing as Bubba in the video game Dead by Daylight. June 3rd, Repeat Day. Oh, wow. Okay, the first movie I thought of was Groundhog Day, but that's supposedly not a horror movie. I don't know, though. I mean, that situation seemed pretty horrifying to me, but let's see. Well, they aren't movies, but I recently started watching Supernatural with my husband, and, oh, side note, no one send me spoilers, okay? I seriously just started a few weeks ago, and it's all new to me, and I'm having a lot of fun, so don't spoil it for me. Anyway, in season 3 of Supernatural, there's an episode called Mystery Spot where things repeat for one of the characters, and it's so much fun, so check that out. There's also an episode of The X-Files with that theme as well. I think it's in I want to say season 6. It's been a couple years now. Anyway, the episode Monday, or was it Mondays? Of The X-Files also has that Groundhog Day repeating things theme. Or I guess you could just pick one of your favorite horror movies off your shelf and watch it twice in a row. Up to you. June 4th? Hug Your Cat Day. Okay, this one seems a little silly because, like, isn't that every day? Like, what cat owner isn't boo-booing their kitty babies every day? That's kind of silly. But it's a good excuse to watch horror movies with cats in them, I guess. So, which is... wow, okay. My brain just kind of overloaded because cats turn up in a lot of horror movies, even if they're just for jump scares. But let's see, cats. Horror movie, cats in a prominent role. Oh, duh, Jonesy, the hero of Alien. He even returns for a cameo in Aliens. Jonesy's totally a huggable horror movie cat for Hug Your Cat Day. Oh, and Hellboy always had a bunch of kitties running around. I really liked the first Hellboy movie. And then there's that cat in Ghost who helps Patrick Swayze keep Demi Moore from getting murdered. He could probably use a hug. And then Coraline is guided around by a cat in Coraline. That might be a good choice if you have kids or just want something a little lighter. Constantine uses a cat pretty prominently in the movie Constantine. And then there's Binks in Hocus Pocus, but he's not really a cat. He's a boy who's been turned into a cat. Kind of like Salem and Sabrina, but that could count if you want it to, I guess. There's also the Black Cat if you want to go really old school. And there's Church and Pet Sematary and the cat in House Zoo. And the cat from Reanimator. Things don't go well for most of those cats, but maybe that makes them even more in need of a hug. Oh, and there's a hilarious Cat from Hell segment in Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, where Buster Poindexter plays a hitman who's hired to take out a cat. So, lots of cat movies. Oh, and it also says here that June 4th is also National Cheese Day, which I'm kind of bitter about because when I turned 30, my body decided it was no longer going to digest cheese. But if you're able to eat cheese, you can make a cheese tray or something to eat while you watch some cat movies. Next up is June 5th, National Donut Day. Alright, seems like a good day to rewatch some of your favorite episodes of Twin Peaks. And it's also National Hot Air Balloon Day, apparently. The only thing I can think of is Mysterious Island, that serialized thing from way back in the day, but I'm not sure if that's widely available. And donuts seem a bit more appealing than hot air balloons. I'm afraid of heights, so Twin Peaks. And next we've got June 6th, World War II D-Day. Oh, man. Okay. Dang, World War II isn't exactly fun, but let's see here. Well, there's a lot of great movies about WW2, but they aren't horror movies. Well, you know, other than portraying real-life horrors, obviously, but... Well, I heard Overlord was good, but I haven't seen it myself yet. And then Hellboy from 2004 starts out in 1944 during World War II. And the first Puppet Master movie starts out in like 1939 or 1940. And the whole series has like Nazis and stuff, and the Dead Snow movies too. I don't know. If you have any relatives who fought, you know, give thanks. Both my grandfathers served during World War II, but they're long gone now, so let's see if June 7th is a bit more cheery. June 7th, VCR Day. Oh, okay, that is a lot more fun. Well, you know, rock 'em if you got 'em. If you still have a VCR at home, watch some of your favorite VHS tapes. You could also watch The Ring, which is kind of dated now, I guess, but a VHS tape plays a prominent role in that. And you could also watch the VHS movie series if you want to. Or, if you're an old-timer like I am now, you could watch the first movie you ever got on VHS. Like, even if you don't actually own the tape anymore, the movie itself might be up on Netflix or Hulu or something. That sounds like a pretty good time, honestly. I might do that. June 8th. Best Friends Day. Oh, that's cute. If it's safe, maybe you could have your best friend over for a movie watching session. Like, sit 6 feet apart, I guess, and just laugh it up, watching some of your faves. I'm married to my best friend, so I guess I lucked out there. For horror movies featuring best friends, I really love Night of the Creeps. Chris and JC. They are adorable best friends, and I love the group of best buddies in the Monster Squad too. June 8th is also Name Your Poison Day. And a little entry here says it usually refers to alcohol, like as an excuse to get drunk, but it can also be broadened to choosing anything that's poison to you. Within reason, I would think. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll give in and have a slice of cheese that day or something while I watch Night of the Creeps with Frank. I'd probably regret it if I did, though. And then June 9th, Donald Duck Day. Oh, wow. Seriously? How did I not know about this? Okay, so in addition to being a horror fan, I'm also a huge duck fan going way back. Like, duck comics are how I learned how to read, basically. Carl Barks and Don Rosa, they're the best. One of my favorite books of all time is Don Rosa's The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck. And I did a painting back in 2008 of Donald Duck as the thing from another world. If you own a copy or can find it floating around on YouTube, watch the Donald Duck Halloween cartoon from the 50s. It's called Trick or Treat. I think it came out in 1952. It's only a few minutes long, but it's really cute, and I love the song in it. It always gets me in the mood for Halloween. And June 9th, we'd be getting there at that point, huh? It'd be like, what, 140-something days until Halloween? 143, 144, something like that. A nice summertime reminder that we have something cool to look forward to coming up. Actually, we have a guest post by Aurora Smith going up on June 9th about how we can save Halloween in 2020, so that's pretty neat. That worked out. Wow. Go check that out too when June 9th rolls around on horrorfam.com. June 10th, Ballpoint Pen Day. I'm gonna go with Red Eye for this one. It's a thriller by Wes Craven, and some people say it's not a horror movie, but I don't know. I think it is. It's like a horror thriller. The plot's pretty horrifying to me, so I'm gonna count it. And more importantly, ballpoint pen plays a big part in Red Eye. Plus, the pen had like a little monster on the top. And if I remember right, it had like a cartoony Frankenstein's monster as a pen topper. So yeah. Good ballpoint pen movie. June 11th, National Corn on the Cob Day. Okay. If you haven't seen it yet or simply want to relive it, there's a great scene involving corn on the cob in the movie Sleepwalkers. It's one of the funniest horror movie death scenes ever. And speaking of funny stuff in Sleepwalkers, when I was little, I used to have a sleepwalking problem myself, and one time when I was 7 or 8, I walked into the living room and my dad was watching Sleepwalkers, and like I regained consciousness just enough to see, you know, Shelley from Twin Peaks dancing around to the Contours' Do You Love Me? And then I guess my dad managed to convince Sleep Me to go back to bed. Anyway, for years I thought that scene was just a weird dream I'd had, so when I finally watched Sleepwalkers when I was in my 20s, I was like, oh my gosh, that was real? And I was so happy to have finally found that scene, even the movie itself was, it's not the best, let's say. Fortunately, I don't sleepwalk anymore, but I still talk in my sleep, like, every night, and thank goodness my husband thinks it's amusing. He keeps a journal of some of the crazier things I sleep ramble about. Where was I? Oh, June 11th, Corn on the Cob Day. Oh, you could also watch Secret Window. I wrote about that movie a couple weeks ago too, actually. It's mostly just Johnny Depp taking naps, but it also has corn on the cob as a major plot point, so maybe you could watch that one too. June 12th, National Peanut Butter Cookie Day. Oh, my husband's going to like that one. Peanut butter cookies and pretty much peanut butter anything are his favorite, so, geez, so what's a horror movie that involves peanut butter cookies? Well, some of my Canadian friends told me about a kid's fantasy movie they watched that terrified them. The peanut butter situation, peanut butter solution, something like that. I guess it's about a little kid who uses peanut butter to get his hair to grow longer, but it doesn't go quite right. I think there were ghosts involved in some capacity and someone trying to steal the kid's hair for some reason. I'm not sure if that one's available in the US or not though, and my friends were pretty freaked out, so I don't know. Maybe just watch what you want to watch and eat some peanut butter cookies. June 13th, Sewing Machine Day. Oh wow, another tough one. Sewing machines seem to turn up in the background in horror movies for atmosphere as creepy props pretty often. And I think I remember a scene where Reagan's mom is using a sewing machine in The Exorcist, but what's a horror movie that really features a sewing machine prominently? Geez, all I can think of is knitting, honestly. There's a scene in the 1960s movie, The Old Dark House, that involves knitting needles. And then there's the knitting robot in Halloween 3. There's also a Twitter account I follow, Tales from the Stitch, run by a gal who does amazing crochet versions of characters from horror movies. Absolutely amazing. If I'm ever flush enough financially, I really want to get one of her dolls. She's so talented. But again, that's crochet, not a sewing machine, so I'm stumped on this one. If you can think of a good horror movie that prominently features a sewing machine, please let me know. I'm gonna check out the next date on here. June 14th. Monkey Around Day. Okay, I know they mean monkeying around like goofing off and stuff, but I got really hung up on the word monkey just now, and chimps really freak me out, and most monkeys. I'm cool with gorillas, but chimps are just no thank you. You can watch pretty much anything, horror movie, nature show, whatever, with primates and it'll be horrifying. Yeah, so skip. June 15th, Smile Power Day. Okay, really powerful smiles. I'm gonna go with William Castle's Mr. Sardonicus for this one. He had quite the grin. You can also watch episodes of Welcome to the Horror Show on Instagram. It's a horror anthology IGTV series, and the host has a very powerful smile. Very similar to Mr. Sardonicus. June 16th, Fresh Veggies Day. Oh, that's nice. Fresh vegetables are good for you. Kinda goes with June being a gardening month, I guess, huh? So, for horror movies with fresh vegetables. Well, I'll probably watch Little Shop of Horrors 1986 version for the zillionth time. There's the "This is between me and the vegetable" line in there, and I guess it's kind of a thin connection, but it works for me. Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of works too. Oh, and the $1 million question in The Thing from Another World. What do you do with a vegetable? The 1982 remake was obviously very different, but the original Thing was basically a walking veggie monster, so there's that. June 17th, Eat Your Vegetables Day. Oh wow, really? 2 vegetable-focused holidays in a row. Okay. Oh man, this is rough. All I can think is the Count Duckula cartoons from when I was a kid about the vegetarian vampire duck, and honestly the best thing about that was its theme song. So maybe find the theme song to Count Duckula and rock out to that on June 17th. Or I guess you could reread the Bunnicula books, and the vampires in the Sims 3 Late Night and Supernatural expansion packs had the option to be vegetarian. You could have your vampire sim feast on humans or eat plasma fruit. The fruit kind of looked like pomegranates, which is what one of our mascots, Tia, the vampire witch, eats. Not really sure, but you should eat your vegetables every day, really. I mean, maybe make yourself a veggie plate and some dip or something while you watch some horror movies. June 18th, Nursing Assistance Day. Oh, that's really nice, especially with everything that's been going on this year, Shout out to all the nurses who are working so hard. Let's see. The main gal, Alex, in An American Werewolf in London, is a nurse. She's pretty adorable. And, wasn't Annie training to be a nurse as, like, her day job in Misery? That's probably not the best example, though. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Be nice to nurses or they might maim you. I'm just kidding about that last part, though. You should always be nice to healthcare workers in general. They work really hard. As a side note, June 18th is also my parents' wedding anniversary, so that's nice, I think. This year it'll be, let's see, I'm 35, so this year will be 37 years of my parents being married to each other. So, good for them. But I'm getting distracted again. So, next day is June 19th, National Kissing Day. Oh, that's a nice one. I'll probably watch episodes of the Addams Family TV show. Gomez was always giving Morticia all kinds of smooches. And the Addams Family movies would work well too. Lots of kissing action in those as well. June 20th, Ice Cream Soda Day. Oh man. Okay, it's not quite an ice cream soda, but there's a scene in the movie Squirm that features an egg cream. And my dad and I have watched the movie Squirm together several times, the original version without the MST3K crew to help us out. And one time when I was around 15 or so, we were like, let's really get into it this time. Let's make the drink he orders in the movie and drink it while we watch. Okay, I don't know why the dude in Squirm was so hyped to have an egg cream, because we made one and it's pretty gross, and honestly doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, it doesn't have cream or eggs in it, for one thing. And egg cream is carbonated water, milk, and chocolate syrup. And Dad and I got maybe halfway through the ones we made for ourselves and we're like, this is gross. So I guess you can watch Squirm for June 20th, but do yourself a favor and make yourself a real ice cream soda, and then be grateful that you've got a tasty drink instead of an egg cream. June 21st, Father's Day. Watch whatever your dad wants. Or if you're a dad, you can take control of the remote today. June 22nd, World Rainforest Day. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe the Predator movies? In the first Predator movie, they're in a jungle in Central America. That's a rainforest, right? I feel kind of dumb now. I'm pretty sure that was a rainforest, though. I'm going to have to look up what technically classifies an area as a legitimate rainforest after this is over. Anyway, I'm pretty sure the first Predator movie takes place in a rainforest. And even if it doesn't, it's a lot of fun. Give it a rewatch. June 23rd, International Widows Day. Oh wow, that one's kind of a bummer, huh? Losing your spouse. Well, a lot of horror movie characters are widowers. There's Frank Bannister in The Frighteners. The dad in Signs is a widower. And the pastor whose family is taking on a wacky adventure with the Gecko brothers in From Dusk Till Dawn was a widower, right? Like, wasn't that why he was struggling to maintain his faith? I'm gonna have to go back and watch that again now, jeez. For female widows, the mom from the Babadook stands out, and since June is also Gay Pride Month and the title Monster became a gay icon for some reason, you could celebrate two June things with that one. Well, June 23rd is also my friend Lenny's birthday, and he listens to this podcast, so shout out to Lenny, I guess, for your birthdays on Widow's Day, man. My other June birthday friends, Prisma, Ray, Nicole, kind of lucked out in that regard. They got Repeat Day, one of the vegetable ones, and something else fun. So sorry, man, but thanks for tuning in, and to everyone else listening who's made it this far in. We're almost to the end of June now. June 24th, International Fairy Day. Well, there's a ton of horror movies based on fairy tales, but actual fairies? That's tough. The 2003 movie Darkness Falls had the Tooth Fairy as the main monster. I guess that counts. Steve Wang created a really nice design for the monster Tooth Fairy for that movie, and McFarlane Toys did a great action figure based off of his design, but it isn't actually featured in the movie, and that was disappointing, but you can still watch it, I guess. Actually, if you can think of a better horror movie featuring fairies, let me know. I'm sure there must be one. Anyway, June 25th, Log Cabin Day. Finally, an easy one. Just rewatch Evil Dead 2. Best horror movie with log cabin. So much fun. Cabin in the Woods is great too. June 26th, Take Your Dog to Work Day. Really? That's a thing? Does anyone actually do that? Well, I guess this year no one's doing that, but like normally? It says here that the first Friday after Father's Day is always Take Your Dog to Work Day. I've never heard of anyone doing that. Oh, whatever. Let's see. Dogs. Horror movie dogs. Cujo, The Thing, Man's Best Friend. Those aren't really dogs you'd want to take to work with you. Or at least I hope not. Let's see. Well, there's Thor, the dog in Bad Moon. He was a good dog. Hero of the movie and the book it's based on. And there's Nanook and Lost Boys, of course. Oh, and the dog in Gremlins. What was his name? Barney? He was super cute. Like, why do you need Gizmo as a pet when you've got such a nice dog waiting at home? That dog was so expressive, too. Like, really good actor. But yeah, lots of good dogs in horror movies. But things don't always go well for dogs in horror movies, like in I Am Legend or Simon Says, and that bums me out. I really don't like it when animals get hurt. It's too sad. Let's see though, homestretch. June 27th, Sunglasses Day. Easy. Just rewatch They Live. Or you can watch The Invisible Man from 1933. Claude Rains is rocking some amazing shades for most of that movie as well. June 28th, International Body Piercing Day. Really? International? Okay, well, I guess you could watch Return of the Living Dead 3. The main character in that ends up with several body piercings by the end of the movie. June 29th, International Mud Day. International Mud Day. So, worldwide, folks are going to celebrate mud today. Okay, there's a horror movie literally called Mud from a couple years ago, and the title definitely caught my attention, but I haven't seen it yet. Same for The Lighthouse from last year. I haven't seen it yet, but I remember some news articles floating around about the actors having to eat mud or something. And there was a mud monster in the movie The Brothers Grimm. I don't remember much else about that movie, actually, but I remember the mud monster because I saw the movie in theaters, and it was almost scary because the scene starts with a little kid losing his face, like blank spots where his facial features were, and that could have been unnerving, but then this goofy looking CGI mud monster comes flopping out, and I just lost it in the theater. I couldn't help it. Everyone in the village is running around screaming and shooting, and I was just sitting there with a massive fit of the giggles. Anyway, Mud. Good horror movie mud scenes. Mud plays an important role in Predator, of course, so if you skipped it for Rainforest Day, you can watch it for Mud Day. And Drag Me to Hell has a great mud scene. And the family in Poltergeist gets pretty soaked with mud. Of the two, I prefer Drag Me to Hell, but that's up to you. And June 29th is also National Hug Day, so maybe you can watch Anaconda. Muddy people getting hugged by a giant snake. 2 for 1. Oh man, okay, last one. June 30th, Meteor Day. Meteor horror movies. Of course, the first movie I thought of was Night of the Comet, but that's not a meteor, it's a comet, obviously. I hate my brain sometimes. Let's see. Oh, duh, The Blob. You can watch the original or The Blob from 1988 that my dad worked on. That has a meteor in it. The movie version of Color Out of Space from last year is supposed to be really good, and that should have a meteor in it. I think that's streaming on a few places now. I should watch that soon. You could also watch The Lonesome Death of Jodie Verrill segment in Creepshow or Slither. If you didn't watch it for Best Friends Day, you could watch Night of the Creeps. Oh, if you want an old horror movie that makes good use of a meteor, check out Day of the Triffids. Classic. And, only 30 days in June, so I guess that's it. I hope this was helpful and that you have a great June this year. If you're doing something fun in the horror genre as an artist, a writer, a filmmaker, a YouTuber, or whatever, and you'd like to be a guest on the horrorfam.com podcast, please head over to horrorfam.com and use our contact form to send me an email, or hit me up on Twitter or Instagram at lovehorrorfam, because this was a hoot, but I much prefer talking to other people on the show. When it's just me, it's a little weird. Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, or any of our previous episodes where I was talking to amazing horror creators, and it wasn't just me, I was talking to wonderful guests who do super cool things in the horror industry, in the horror genre, and you want to help support the horrorfam.com podcast, you can use our PayPal donate button in the sidebar, or become one of our patrons at patreon.com/horrorfam. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the horrorfam.com podcast. I'm Lauren Spirit, and I'll be back next Saturday with another episode of horror-related fun. Until then, bye-bye!